Alright, so what is up YouTube? So today I'm really excited. I got the rear pads in from Hawk for the Miata. As you guys saw in the last video, we did the front pads and the rotors. So we were just waiting on the rear rotors. So let's get to it. Alright guys, so here are the pads. Super tiny. As you guys can see here, here's my hand. Here's the size of the pads. I have a little grease right here, a few stickers. And I also picked up at my job, because I work at Advanced Auto, I got a universal MagnaFlow muffler just to make the car a little bit more exciting. It has an intake on it at the moment, but that's basically it. So car's a little bit too quiet and needs to be more fun of it daily. So let's get to it, guys. Alright, so here's the car. Just with the front brake pads and rotors alone, the car's done amazing. It stops so much better, but I can't wait to put the rear ones on. I'm gonna do a time lapse like I did in the last video. So I'll just make regular videos and tips and like what I can think of to make things easier for you guys. You guys are doing this, but I'll make regular videos and I'll explain what I did and how I did it, but for the most part I'll just do a time lapse. So here we go. Rotors off. Super simple, a lot easier than what I would have ever thought. So this actually goes right here, as you can see in my hand, mounted behind the caliper. You can see here's the caliper, and it goes with this bolt right here. So this bolt goes in this hole and it holds on to the bracket right here where it holds the caliper. It goes mounted in there. So right here, this guy goes in here. Obviously he's kind of dangling, so he goes in there, and you have this lid on top so you can't really see him. So once you just remove that with pressure, it's actually a 10mm bolt. So once you guys just remove that, you unthread it and that's it. And remember to loosen your handbrake, which I was struggling for a few seconds there, not really realizing why, and then I realized, oh wait, my handbrake's up. So once that happened, all I did was, you can see here's the caliper. One of the pads fell off, so that doesn't matter. It's easier to show you guys now. The rotor goes on like this, right? Oh, here's a bolt in the way, whatever. So it was on like that, and then all I did was I tilted this side up, and then this side right here has a shaft inside of it, which, as you can see, is where the caliper connects to. So you just lift it up on the bottom here, and you just slide it right out, just like that, and it'll pop out just like that. So on this one I actually found the bolt, which I did in the last video as well, where you use this to pull this out. So before I do that, I'm gonna do another time lapse so I can remove this bracket off the caliper, and then we'll get back to it. Alright, see you guys in a bit. I know it's lots of time lapses and regular videos, but I like to do it step by step because I hate when I need to find things and people just do one piece and then they just explain it while it's not on. So that's why I do it little by little. Alright, so I got the bracket off, guys, and it was two 14mm bolts. They go right back here. One goes right on top, right here, you can see my finger, and the other one goes right down here, right there. So once those two come off, the bracket just comes right off, and then you're able to take off the actual rotor. So this one's on pretty tight, so I have my little bolt right here, same thread, just to make life easier. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that was an 11mm, which is right over here. Cool. Oh, actually a 12 or a 13. Okay, so it is a 13. Didn't remember what size it was. So once that's on there, just put it tied in right there, and your rotor should just come off like that. So now that that's off, let's get the new one on. Alright, so as you can see, my Mustang is my storage inside of the garage. So let's grab this box right here. Cool. So Mustang's a good place to keep stuff when they don't work. As you can see, I have 3 of them, so got lots of storage. Alright, so here I have the Motul 600 brake fluid. I don't remember if I mentioned it in the last video. So in case you guys are wondering what size the pads, what size the rotors and the pads are, I'll show you guys the part numbers in case you guys ever go to order them. So, for the two fronts, it was right here, 126 4506 1SL and 1SR. And then for the rears, they were 126 4506 2 SL and SR. So the only thing that changes is the 1 and then the 2. The 2s are for the rear and the 1s are for the front. And then for the front pads, the box was a HB 431F.606. And my rear pads are over here, which are actually a HB 468F.492. So the reason I'm showing you guys is in case you guys can't find it on the Hawk site, it's because it's a little complicated sometimes, especially on the phone. So it makes it easier as going on your laptop, but if you don't have one available at the moment, then here you guys go. So one thing I did to get them actually for a lot cheaper of a price, I actually went on eBay. So I copied the part number and I pasted it on eBay, and I got these from two guys in West Palm Beach down local to me. And then the STOPTECH rotors, I just ordered them from Summit Racing because I couldn't find any for a better deal. So rather order it from a trusted person. And then the pads, took a chance, but thank God they were both right. So let's get to installing this and let's get to another time lapse, guys. You guys remove the rotor and you guys are gonna go put the caliper right back on. On this one, it turns out, on actually all Miatas, I called my dad and he helped me because he did it on the NA. So this bolt right here goes right in this hole. In this hole, there's an Allen that adjusts the piston in order for you to put it on the pads. I've been over here for the past 5 minutes, possibly almost 10 minutes, looking for how to adjust it, and I couldn't find the Allen. Turns out he told me that this was in front of it. So this is a 14 millimeter. You can use a key, which is easier, which is what I used, instead of a socket because the socket's too fat. And then once I pop that sucker out, you can see the Allen in there. So let's look for the Allen, which is probably this one right here. Oh, okay, so I guessed it and I got it. So let's see what. Alright you guys, so after, I'm going to say about 15 to 20 minutes, finally done. So, reason the wheel won't spin is because the piston closed up on it. So once I pump it a few times, it should be good to go. But yeah, it was pretty fairly easy. So I'll explain to you guys everything once again now that I actually did it. So, let me explain it again, even though I explained it in the video, now that my mind is clear. There's a 10 millimeter bolt. Now that everything's back together, you guys can see how everything goes. Let me get under the car. So on the bottom of the caliper, there's this little plastic cover right here. So once you pull this guy off, is the 10 mil that I was talking to you guys about that holds the caliper onto the physical bracket right here. Once you guys remove that, then there's a 14 millimeter bolt right here, and there's another 14 millimeter bolt right up here somewhere. You guys can see my finger right there. So right here there's another 14 mil, and once that comes off, the whole bracket that protects the rotor on comes off, and then the rotor just comes off. Now on some cars, obviously from over time, the car just gets stuck on, so you put a little screw in here, which is what this is made for. You drill it in all the way, or you screw it in however you guys want to do it, and it just pushes the physical rotor out. Once you guys do that, you put the new rotor on, slide the pads on, and then what you do is, now that this is all on great, I explained it in the video, but just in case, it's somewhere in here. If oh, you can't see it, so it's right behind here on the back where the brake line goes and the handbrake bracket goes. It's a 14 millimeter as well, and once you remove that, it's an Allen key, or if you have a T, let's see what T I used. I used a T25. So this is the 5-point from Craftsman. I used a T45, or also what else worked was it? If I'm not mistaken, it was one of these two, which was this is a 4.5 mil, and this was a 5/32. It was one of these two. I think it was the 5/32 that I ended up using, not the 4.5 mil, or a T25. So whichever one works for you guys best, I highly recommend. But yeah, now let's get started on the other side, and let's begin another time lapse. Alright guys, so quick little video. Thank you guys for watching. Brakes are finally done. I was actually going to film a little time lapse of me pressure cleaning the underside of the car here, because there was an oil leak. So I actually took the whole motor apart when my dad was actually out of town last week. One thing I forgot to show you guys. Come up this way. And I sprayed everything with degreaser. I took everything apart and cleaned it. And while I was there, I decided to paint my valve cover in a nice dark blue, so it goes well with the air filter and spark plug wires. Little tip: if you guys ever want to do an intake and just do it cheap, just buy on eBay a $12 cone, keep the original elbow, cut it, and just flip it. Instead of going all this way, you eliminate everything, and it just becomes a nice, clean, simple setup. And I also have 2 breathers for the PCV valve delete. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching. I mean, that's basically it. Hope you guys enjoyed that. And I'll show you guys a little pictures of before and after of when it's cleaned and how it is now. So see you guys later. Alright, what is up you guys? A little update on everything after I did the brakes. I grabbed the greaser and a brush that I had, and I cleaned the wheels. At least the rear ones I was able to clean. And I used my pressure cleaner to clean the whole entire wheel, as well as the inner fender rails. As you guys can see, super clean. No dirt whatsoever. The pressure cleaner and the degreaser removed everything. Yeah, the new brakes are looking super nice. So you can even see the coils are looking super clean. You can even see just the surface rust now that lower control arms have. And yeah, but besides that, the car's back together. I haven't driven it yet, so that should be super fun now to do. Taking a little test drive, let the brakes warm up, let them break in, and then do a few nice stops to see how it feels. But on the next video, hopefully I can get a new hose, lift up the front of the car, do the same, where I clean the inner fender wells and the whole center of the car, the transmission tonneau, everything, as well as the engine bay. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys on the next one.